Spring, the Avs go off into the 21-day Olympic break with a good taste in their mouths. A 4-2 victory with an empty netter. Brock Nelson's 29th of the season over the San Jose Sharks. They are 37-9-9. They extend their lead over the Minnesota Wild, still have 3 games in hand on Minnesota. They have 6 points over Dallas with 2 games in hand against the Stars as Dallas got another victory this evening. Minnesota gets an overtime win over Nashville on the road to get the extra point. But the Avs going into this break, especially after the loss to Detroit a couple of nights ago, Spring, you needed this one. It felt good. About 5 minutes in the third period weren't so hot. But other than that, kind of looked like the Avs we're used to.
Yeah, I mean, Yaroslav Askarov was very good.
He was fantastic
in this game. Shout out to Nashville for trading him to the Sharks. And that's part of, it's not just Celebrini or my dude Will Smith. They got a good young goaltender as well. And I mean, the Avs really should have won this by more, but Askarov made some really nice saves in this game. Only single digits still in the regulation losses, and we're at the Olympic break. Dallas and Minnesota have each won 5 straight. It is what it is. Minnesota's 5 points back. You do have 3 games in hand on Minnesota. I was thinking watching this game, they're still not playing their best right now, but they are the best team in hockey. The standings say as much. And regardless of that, like remember last year, okay, Winnipeg was the best team. They won the President's Trophy. This ain't Winnipeg. Okay. This is completely different. The standings say they are the best team in hockey. They have some of the best players in hockey. Winnipeg doesn't have anyone on their team that can lace Cale Makar and Nathan McKinnon skates. Very few teams do. Thought everyone played fairly well. There was a sense of urgency, I think, knowing that you had the break and you wanted to put a good taste in your mouth. It was a good, solid win. There's still no Natchez, no Landeskog. It's not their best overall, injury-wise and play-wise. It was good tonight. It was very good. But they are going to enjoy these days off. Landeskog's back. Next game, Raj. Next game. Landeskog's back.
Yeah, you can expect him back. You can expect Natchez back. They were good. They were not great tonight. There were certainly some bad spots. The Sam Girard turnover, and I wouldn't even call it a turnover. It was a bad pinch and a bad decision. Oh, no, sorry. I apologize. Dumb comment. It was a bad turnover on the offensive blue line where he's trying to make a play that just quite clearly wasn't there. Just like chip it down low, live to fight another day. Outside of that, I thought he and Malinsky played a pretty decent game outside of a 5-minute stretch in the third period. Blackwood was good enough tonight. He made some big-time saves. There were some really good long body defensive plays on 2-on-1s in the third period. San Jose's fast. They're fun to watch. It's a good way to end the break. It was so very clear from Jared Bednar's post-game comments that, they're all ready for 3 weeks off. And he said it about the power play, Spring. He goes, it's just a mental reset. Like the way that we play requires so much energy and so much effort. And now that we've got these injuries and there's a lot of hockey packed in to the beginning of the season, we need to find a way to get back to being not fatigued.
But I'll give you the report. Of course, I can't hear you, and we have a weird system how we do things here, but let me give you a final report from inside of the locker room tonight. The fate of Ophelia was going a little bit louder and a little bit longer. This was a great win, and you can feel it inside the locker room. It's just a breath of fresh air, and it got a little gnarly there when they gave up the 2-goal lead. But amazingly, the Avs this year are undefeated when they've had a 2-goal lead. So what's that? 32 wins, something like that? I don't know, something along those lines. Whatever it is. But they get that 2-goal lead at some point, and they are very, very difficult to beat. Josh Manson didn't even realize that, but he's was appreciative of it. He talked about pairing up with Brett Burns and said what Burns means to him is a ton, because Manson's having just like his best offensive year ever. He's been unbelievable. And he said he got lucky. Shot got screened. He thought it was dead center at the net. Nothing special, but that's the way it goes. You put the puck on the net, good things happen. Nathan McKinnon spoke at length, and he was in a good mood, which was good to see. And again, I just can't emphasize enough how like a relief this was. This would have been an unbelievable bummer to lose this game or even to tie this game, something like they had been going through. So, and probably most significant, Jared Bednar said after the game that they needed this break. Okay. He said, listen, if we were playing great and going into the break, maybe, no, we would want to keep going. And there were definitely points that was happening this season, but not now. Bednar is agreeing with a lot of what we've been speculating about. But this team just needs a breather. Now, 8 of their guys, and there was an awesome ceremony before the game to honor everybody going to the Olympics. 8 of their players, their 8 best players, aside from the goalies, are off to Italy. So the degree that they are rested and relaxed when they get back is, well, who knows? And Bednar literally knocked on wood to hope for no injuries. Meanwhile, Bedsy's off to Hawaii, as is Mackenzie Blackwood. Josh Manson is going to go get his brother married. And 8 guys are going off to Italy. So, and I think Mosier's off. And I believe Connor McGay, he's going to go play golf in California. Like, this is a nice relief for everybody. And we enjoy Olympic hockey. And by the way, Nathan McKinnon afterwards did say there's nothing you can compare it to. He literally said, hockey in Canada is like football down here. And there's just nothing else you can compare to playing with Team Canada on your sweater. So it doesn't mean more than a Stanley Cup. Maybe it actually does. And it's been a long time since NHL guys played in the Olympics. So I guess we should all keep that in mind as we hope nobody gets hurt, because I think for all Avs fans, winning a Stanley Cup means much more. But I'll let you guys hash it up. You can knock me out of here, and we'll talk about Avs hockey, in a couple weeks.
There is DMAC with his live report. I can see him down on the concourse right now. Yeah, good points in terms of Bednar saying he hopes to God that no one gets injured in the Italian Olympics. But it's fewer games than people think. You still have it's going to be about a week. I think it's a week from today that the first men's games start on February the 11th. So you still get a week off. You're going to skate with Team Canada and Team USA, but you still get a week off.
Hey, good for Arturi Lehkonen, getting hot before he goes and plays for Team Finland. Arturi Lehkonen, long shot, Conn Smythe of the Olympics. I know it's not called the Conn Smythe, but you know what I mean. That would be hilarious and awesome to see. Hey, get hot at the right time. Arturi Lehkonen with 2 goals right before he goes to play for Team Finland. And yeah, it really hit me today. I'm more excited now. I'm more excited for the Olympic hockey. Like, this is it. This is the tournament. It is, screw the world championships. Nobody cares about those. The IIHF world championships. No, nobody cares. The Olympics is the tournament that matters. Like, it's the opposite in soccer. You don't really care about the Olympic soccer tournament. You care about the World Cup. Well, in hockey, it's the Olympics is the tournament. So if you're looking for, it's once every 4 years. It's the best of the best. I'm excited. I'm really excited to watch these games. I love that they're going all out. I think that the 4 nations, maybe part of the reason for last year was to prove to us, oh no, they're going to try. Because if it wasn't for the 4 nations last year, we would still be asking the question. If we hadn't seen it, we would be asking, are they going to try?
Yep, for sure.
No, they're going to try.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be some hatred there between the teams. Again, different styles of hockey, IIHF compared to the National Hockey League. So I think the preliminary rounds will be far less physical than people anticipate. I think the medal rounds and the knockout stages will get a little bit more intense. And then when it comes down to winning a medal, those games will be very, very tightly checked. Will you see the Kachucks drop the gloves at the beginning of a game? No, because the IHF it just doesn't happen in international hockey when it's refereed by that federation. So you're not going to see something like that. You're not going to see guys cross-checking each other in the teeth. You'll see physical play, but the brand of hockey that the IIHF is as compared to the NHL is far different. That's the reason why I loved the fact that Gabriel Landeskog and Marty Nate just didn't play tonight, and that their reintroduction to hockey will be a lesser physical style of play where they can get their legs back underneath them, and then you start to progress. You get that intensity up throughout the tournament. And then when you're back on February 25th, you run into 27 games before the playoffs start. That is the stretch run in playoff hockey. You're starting to play playoff hockey in March, essentially.
Yeah, it's a good point that it will. The injury risk in theory is lower than even if it was the Four Nations. It is officiated differently. And they're going to discourage those shenanigans. But you get those Kachucks out there, and sometimes it's just the look on their face, and you just want to punch them. So you get players like that out there who can't help themselves in a way. Who knows? Shit still could go down. All it takes is one Kachuk doing something stupid, and all of a sudden, and I say stupid, it could be because USA, it ain't stupid when they're doing it for the red, white, and blue. It's good grit. You want that on your team, huh?
I'm telling you, man. If someone cross-checks a dude in the teeth, they're getting thrown out of the game and suspended for the next game. That is the federation, dude. It's not the same thing. There will be physical hockey. There will be checks. There will be open ice hits. It will be intense. You're not getting guys dropping their gloves. It's not going to happen.
It could just be a big old fucking something, big old hit.
Right.
And all of a sudden, someone's getting in someone's face, and yeah, they're probably not going to fight, but you might see something. You still might see something, and that the public's going to want it. Because it's the mainstream thing. Like, this is going to be for a mainstream audience, and when they think hockey, they think fights and blood.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point, Spring. There's a chance that the Four Nations got everyone excited for the Olympics. There's also a chance that the Four Nations might let everyone down.
That's possible.
That the bar that was set in that tournament, and it was fantastic, man. Even without the Russians for both that tournament and this one, and it is a hockey travesty that they're not in either one of those games, because they're such a great villain for so many countries. Like U.S. Russia is awesome. Canada Russia, especially at the World Juniors, is almost unbeatable. You're missing those types of players. There's a chance that the height of the Four Nations and the intensity and the violence of the Four Nations, when it comes to the general sport fan, their expectations may not be met. I think it's going to be an awesome tournament. 2010 and 2014 were great, but I'm also a hockey guy. I'm not Mr. Only football and baseball and basketball fan that happens upon a hockey game and I have to be enthralled by it because of what I'm seeing. I'm predisposed to like it.
Oh yeah, no, that's just the pure hockey fans. Your NHL audience, even though it won't quite be the NHL game, will watch just because they really like hockey. So it's just your hockey audience. But now, and I was thinking about this today too. This is on NBC. Hockey's back on NBC. We gotta put the bat signal out for Pierre Maguire.
You gotta put the bat signal out for Doc Emrick.
Yeah. So that could be. I wonder who they'll have call that game. Is Kenny Albert gonna be back on NBC? He's a TNT guy. What are they gonna? I don't know who the broadcasters are gonna be, but
I have no idea.
Especially the bigger games are going to probably be on, if they're not on NBC, they're on USA Network or something, probably NBC. And it's going to draw a big audience. And a lot of them are not just the hockey fan. They're the people who tuned in for USA Canada and they fight immediately in the game. And I think that moment was the moment that the casual people would then go onto social media and be like, holy shit, this is awesome. I don't know if you're getting that.
I don't know.
And will they be sitting there being like, well, this is fun, but something's missing.
All right, let's take out Cale Makar, Nathan McKinnon. Out of Brock Nelson, Marty Necas, Gabriel Landeskog, Joel Kiviranta, Arturi Lehkonen, and Devon Taves, who has the best individual Olympic performance?
Oh man.
It's too easy to say Cale and Nate, so they're out.
Yeah. No, that's a fair way to phrase that. It's an interesting question. Unfortunately, hey, look, Joel Kiviranta scored those 2 goals against the Avs in that bubble series.
3. He had a hat trick in that game.
Get a hat trick. So hey, maybe all it takes is that one game under the big lights, and maybe he's just big game Kiviranta, but he is the one you would say is least likely. Honestly, anyone at Lehkonen would be the next least likely, as well as Taves. But it's not like those 2 could. You never know. They could.
I don't know if I agree with the Lecky take though, because the Finns always medal, regardless of what international competition it is. U17, U18, U20, World Championships. They just find a way to get into a medal game. And I think if they do that, like Arturi Lehkonen's he's going to be part of that.
Yeah.
He's not just a throw in.
Because he's a forward, it's more likely than Taves.
He's more likely than Taves, but Taves is going to be he's going to have number 1 pairing defensive minutes on Team Canada, which are the odds-on favorite to win gold.
But let's be real. And Lehkonen can have a good tournament, and so could, Sebastian Aho. But if Team Finland is going to be dangerous, then it's going to have to be
Mikko and Miro.
Rantanen.
Yep, it's Mikko and Miro for sure.
Miro as well.
All right, so if it's not Lecky, it's not Kiwi. Landeskog, if Sweden gets deep, Landeskog won't be their point scorer. Will he be the guy that's driving the bus? Is he the reason why Sweden upsets both the U.S. and Canada and wins gold? I don't think so. I think you're looking at Leo Carlson and you're looking at Philip Forsberg still.
But no, Landeskog could. I look at Landeskog and Necas have opportunities to be the ones. Now, obviously, Pastrnak is on Czechia, and so he'd be the favorite to lead that team. But it's I would be more surprised if Lehkonen is carrying Team Finland, or it's like, holy shit, and it's not Mikko.
I agree.
It should be me.
I agree.
I wouldn't be shocked if Necas has himself a tournament where you're like, holy damn, he's the best player on Czechia. And yeah, Pasternak's out there, but Necas is having himself a tournament. That's not impossible. And the same can be said about Landeskog in Sweden.
I think Necas is the right answer. If the Czechs get into a medal game, I don't think the Czechs are going to get into a gold medal game. I don't think they have the depth everywhere on the roster. I don't really trust the goaltending of like Vladar and Dostal to get it done against big time teams like Canada and the US. But if the Czechs get through, Marty Necas is going to be like the second highest scorer on the Czech team. I don't think Brock Nelson
will play well.
Brock Nelson's going to be like a 3rd line or a 4th line center on Team USA, and the guy's almost got 30 goals.
Man, if he could be I don't know what the lineups look like. If he's 2C, maybe Nelson has a chance, actually. If he's only getting 3rd line minutes, that'll hurt. Lukas Dostal you saw what Askarov did tonight. Is Yaroslav Askarov a household name? No. But you've seen a handful of goalies. All it takes is one little stretch. Like Jordan Binnington, all it took was one little stretch. You look at his numbers overall last few years, not that great. But all it takes is one little stretch. And yeah, Binnington has some pedigree to him. But a goalie that's, young and solid, or maybe not even young, but just can get hot. As long as you have somebody capable in net, if you're starting whoever, trying to think of like just a really shitty goaltender who would start for one of these teams, but you get my point.
Yeah.
That can carry a team. If you played like Yaroslav Askarov did tonight, Shoot, like if he was Russia's goaltender and he went out and played like that and all it takes is one game, you've just stolen a game. Stolen a game against Canada.
The more I look at that Team Sweden roster, and I appreciate, I don't know who was in the comments that said Leo Carlson is out for the Olympics. He's not playing for Team Sweden. The more I look at that forward unit for the Swedes, man, like Gabe is a top 3 option. So you want to hear the forwards for Team Sweden?
Yes, please.
Jesper Bratt, Joel Eriksson Ek, Philip Forsberg, Pontus Holmberg, Marcus Johansson, Adrian Kempe, Landy, Elias Lindholm, Willie Nylander, Elias Pettersson, Ricard Raquel, Lucas Raymond, Alex Wenberg, who we saw tonight, and Mika Zibanejad. Like he is, by my count, I think he's the 3rd or the 4th best forward on that team right now.
Still, that's a pretty deep team.
They're deep. They're missing the top end forward.
Man,
talent.
that'd be great if they had Carlson.
Stud.
Even though he's young, that still would. That could help your.
Sweden's going to win it from the back end. If Sweden wins it, it's the back end. Their defensive unit is too good. Rasmus Anderson, Phil Broberg, Rasmus Dahlin, who's having a stellar season for Buffalo.
Yeah.
Gustav Forsling, Victor Hedman, Eric Carlson, Hampus Lindholm, and then Oliver Ekman-Larsson.
That's a really deep
defensive
team.
unit is great.
What's their goaltending?
Gustafsson, Wallstedt, and Markstrom.
Holy shit.
Sweden's
the two
good.
Wild
Sweden's
goalies,
legit, brother.
The 2 wild goalies, like Markstrom, you're not playing. That's a good man.
The Swedes are legit.
Sweden has no choice, and it's an easy choice. It's a no-brainer to take the 2 wild goalies. Team Canada's not taking the 2 Avs goalies, and those are the 2 best tandems in the league. Look, Sweden, that is a dangerous team, and Gabe Landeskog is going to he's going to produce, and if he has a moment, I was going to say he's going to have a moment, but I don't know. But if he has a moment, and he's extremely capable of it. He's a candidate too. Like I'm talking like a game winner in overtime,
like a Forsberg moment, a postage stamp moment.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun ass tournament, man. I'm really looking forward.
I can't wait for it, dude. It's gonna be so much fun. I'm so happy that there's 8 Avs to watch. Like it gives me a reason to watch the Czechs. If the Czechs play Latvia, I wouldn't watch it. The fact that Marty Necas is on. I'll tune that thing in without a doubt. It gives me more of a reason to watch the Finnish team, right? Like I have familial ties to that country, but because Arturi Lehkonen is there and because Joel Kiviranta is there, I'm rooting for the Finns to take probably bronze in this thing.
Like, I'm going to be completely honest. I am looking forward to watching Mikko Rantanen play.
I said that I tweeted out after did you see the goal he scored 2 games ago?
I did not.
Holy smokes. I tweeted out and I went, I cannot wait for this dude to wear a Team Finland jersey so I can root for him again. It is a ridiculous goal that he scored 2 games ago.
I mean, I just like drama and I like elite players. So, like Mikko being on Team Finland, playing with Lehkonen and Kiviranta, that's a storyline in and of itself. Then Mikko going up against Nate, Kale, and Taves on Canada. Mikko going up against Brock Nelson and Team USA. And how about Mikko versus Necas? Or just, Czechia versus Finland. I don't know if we're getting all these matchups, but it just creates more storylines and more interesting things. And so I can't wait to watch Mikko on Finland. And yeah, he'll piss me off a couple times, but I'm here for the entertainment and it's going to be super entertaining.
I'm so happy that this team is hitting a break at this time. How wild would it be if they come back from the break and like the power play just is magically fixed? Like it starts clipping at 22%. Maybe they're not going to climb back into the top 20 or the top 15 in the NHL before the regular season is over. But if we start the power plays at 0-0 on February 25th, and from that point to the end of the season, they clip it like 22 or 23%, just because it was like, I found peace at the bottom of a fucking Mai Tai in Hawaii. It would be awesome.
I thought it was better tonight. I mean, and I say better, like on par with the past few games, even though again they don't score on it. Like they got like Brock Nelson a really good look, kind of shallow right side. Askarov made he made so many pad saves tonight. Avs had a little bit of trouble elevating some pucks, but honestly, more on Askarov making good pad saves. Yeah, and another thing I was thinking watching this game was, and thinking about the power play, was at some point they're going to they have to have, like, let's call it a 5-game stretch. Maybe it's 3, but let's go 5, where it's pretty good. Like it just simply has to happen.
Like it's been so bad.
Yes.
That right. So the same way that the Avalanche have come a little bit back to the mean over the course of January, the power play has to work in the same way. It absolutely has to work in the same way. Like the Avs were like, holy crap, they're going to win 72 hockey games. And you go, no, they're really not. They're probably going to come back down a little bit. They've outperformed expectations. Some of it's true, some of it's not. And then you look at the power play over the course of the year. Is it going to be Edmonton? Fuck no. Is it the Dallas power play from last year's postseason? Fuck no, it's not. But you know what? It probably isn't. It's probably not a 15% power play. Like
it's probably not.
It's going to, the math says it's going to slowly come back up. They just had to get to a 3-week break. I'm hoping here.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you were to say, hey, the Avs are going to have a 5-game stretch this season where the power play is like at a good clip, a respectable clip, you would say over the course of 82 games and then at least 4 playoff games, that yes, it is likely that they will have a 5-game stretch. And they haven't had that 5-game stretch. So maybe the longer it goes, it's just because statistics say it has to happen, that it actually is a good thing that they haven't had that 5-game stretch yet, because maybe they're only getting one of them. And hopefully it's you can have the shit power play in the regular season, but if it somehow just averages out a little bit in the playoffs, okay, because there's just too much talent. It's unexplainable. There's too much talent.
I always go back to the last 15 years of Cup champions and the LA Kings in 2014. It was the final of their 2 cups that they had sandwiched in between Blackhawk victories between 2010 and 2015. They ran at 15.1% during the regular season, which was 27th in the NHL. They were as bad as the Avalanche power play is right now. And this wasn't the 2012 Kings come out of nowhere 8 seed and it's Jonathan Quick just standing on his head. This was, they've already won. They also have Jonathan Quick, but they're like a legit team. It's Justin Williams and Anze Kopitar, Drew Doughty and Jeff Carter, like a legit Kings team. You know what they turned their power play into? At the drop of a hat, after being 15% all season, they turned their power play into a 23.4% unit in the postseason. At the drop of a hat.
Hey.
Like people are like, oh, it doesn't happen like that. Fuck you. It happened in 2014.
Precedence. And even if there was,
it's my job to find these stats.
Even if there is, like, I love precedence. It goes to show if it can happen once, it can happen twice. But it's also a realistic type thing that even if it had never happened, if you have a roster that you look at it and you say, and you're right, like those are legitimate players that were on those Kings teams, and the Avs have legitimate players. So, like the formula, like the pieces are there of the puzzle. It's just, when is the puzzle going to come together? And you got to think sooner or later. I saw this stat from Mike Kelly. This was from a couple days ago. NHL Network guy. This is from a couple days ago, so it's gone down, I assume. But as of a couple days ago, the Avs' net power play percentage is 10.3.
Yeah, it's not great.
In the last 10 years, that ranks 332nd out of 344. That's 8th from the bottom? No, 12th from the bottom out of 344. It can't be that bad. Like at a certain, it can't. You cannot tell me that a power play with Nathan McKinnon and Cale Makar on it. Two, you fuck Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft. Bona fide. First ballot. Hall of Famers. Unanimous. Derek Jeter style. I think he was unanimous. You cannot tell me that in the primes of their career that a power play with those two players is going to be one of the 12 worst in 10 years. No way. Like that includes does that include the 48-point team? Are we the 10-year anniversary of that? Either way. I mean, you cannot tell me that this is like that.
I apologize for all of the noise in the background. I am 250 feet, 300 feet away from where they are putting down all of the risers for them to switch over from hockey to basketball courts right now. So what you're hearing right now are rows of seats just slamming down onto the floor at Ball Arena, and I apologize for that. Spring, you're right. There's no way it can be actually that bad. There's no way it can be that bad.
It would be an anomaly. It'd be an absolute anomaly. Hey, shout out to Michael Green just sent us this on Twitter. Kenny Albert is back at NBC, at least on
Awesome.
a loan.
Love
that. Same with Eddie Olczyk. We're going to get other analysts include Brian Boucher. So, man, the gang's back. Anson Carter, TJ Oshie, ESPN guy.
TJ Oshie's pretty good. I enjoy Oshie.
He's okay.
Also, great tie back to 2014. And if something goes to a shootout, TJ Oshie is a great guy to have there.
Yep. And Catherine Tappan
I like Catherine Tappan. I'm glad that was the choice.
It's good to have the NHL on NBC back at least for 2 weeks, or at least that gang. I know they got a lot of heat. No Pierre Maguire, man, that would have pissed a lot of people off, and I would have liked to see them pissed off.
Pierre would have been fun, but isn't Pierre doing stuff at like St. Lawrence now? I don't know. I thought Pierre took another job in hockey that wasn't broadcasting. I
feel like I saw that.
All right. Spring, I think that's it. This has been a great first 55 games. The month of January was terrible, but there's still the fact that it is February 4 and they have 9 regulation losses it's ridiculous. They still have a very large cushion on Minnesota and Dallas with games in hand. And I think you play 5 games in like 8 days or something like that coming out of the break. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games between February the 25th and March 3rd. So you play a lot of hockey coming out of this break. So those games in hand will kind of go poof.
As they were going to eventually. Hey, one more note, and I've been meaning to bring this up because Russia got brought up, the LA Kings got brought up. Artemi Panarin is an LA King. And, let's see, I'm looking at the standings right here. LA is outside that. Man, if LA can get into that top 3, it's Oilers Kings again, maybe. But this time they'd have Artemi Panarin. Or
is Artemi Panarin the thing that gets him over the hump?
That can help him finally beat an Oilers team that is beatable despite being to the last 2 cup finals? Or is that your 8th seed? Are the Avs going to have to see the bread man in the first round? I
still think you would handle LA. It makes them certainly more difficult. Like Artemi Panarin can break games.
That's a good acquisition for them. And that's a team that makes sense. Like they need a player like that.
Yes. You know who needs a player like that? Like that's the player Carolina's been looking for years.
Sure, Carolina would have been another good spot. Yeah, but he wanted to go to LA. That upper level, borderline, somewhat elite guy.
I saw a lot of people asking, like, "Oh, the Avs could have given up a conditional 3rd and a top prospect." The key here, the reason why Artemi Panarin did not fetch a top prospect, a 1st-round pick, and more, that is his value. That's his actual value on the market. Artemi Panarin looked at Chris Drury and said, I have a full no movement clause. I am walking at the end of this season when I'm a free agent. The only place you are trading me is Los Angeles. That's the reason why the trade value is so low for Artemi Panarin, who then signs a 2-year extension for $22 total million.
Well, because they were a team that could give him a 2-year extension, 11 million per. And, you know, the Avs just didn't have that money. And even so, I guess he could have been open to being a rental here, but I don't know. Hey, maybe you're from Russia. You want to go you've just been living in New York, which is a big city, but you want to go sit on a beach if you're Artemi Panarin.
Panarin will have now played as a Russian national in like the 3 largest sports cities in the country.
Yeah. Chicago, New York, and LA. Wasn't Columbus in there?
I was going to say you were missing a short stay in Columbus, Ohio.
Not quite LA, Columbus, Ohio. But yeah, it's just a team. It's like the Avs are so loaded. Like a team in a salary cap era, like, yeah, the Kings they don't have that guy. So they're just a type of team that can go get somebody like that.
I'm happy Colorado didn't do that.
Yeah. And it's just, you would have had someone really good on your third line getting less minutes. It just was kind of unnecessary.
And it's so very clear the spots that if they choose to upgrade, it's so very clear that the spot that they don't need to upgrade is first line right wing.
Yeah, right-handed.
They need to upgrade third line center or bottom 6 big screw you forward, and they need to upgrade bottom pairing big left-handed defenseman. That's it.
If Panarin was a left-handed shot, same player, left-handed shot, I actually might feel differently. I would feel differently. Yes. But right-handed shot and not very physical defensively, Marty Necas. And Marty is actually kind of, he's on this like upward trajectory where Panarin's been good, but he feels like he's just a little stuck with his game. He's like peaked a little bit, whereas Necas hasn't even begun to peak. Necas is evolving before our very eyes. So
yeah, that's
too redundant.
Hope. Yeah, if Necas's next evolution is, can you be who you were the first 40 games of this season in April and May and June? That's his next evolution. Because like Nate has shown that he can do that, and Cale has shown that he can do that. Now Cale was very bad in the postseason last year, but those players have shown like we have another level, right? And that is evidenced in the fact that Cale Makar has a Conn Smythe, and Nathan MacKinnon would have won the Conn Smythe if it wasn't Cale Makar's back in 2022. So that is that's the next step for him, is can you do it in April and May and early June? And if he can, then you're looking at another Hall of Famer right wing that Nathan MacKinnon has played with.
Potentially, not impossible. I'm optimistic about Necas in the playoffs. And especially with Gabe on that line, I'm optimistic. It'll be the size to help him out a little bit, spread things out, open things up for him. I'm optimistic. I think Necas is going to play well in the playoffs.
You know what might help is, again, as we wrap this thing up and we come full circle back to that Olympic conversation, is if the Czechs get into the knockout round and get into the medal round, like that type of intensity is something that he hasn't really seen before in the NHL. Now, like the series against Dallas, yeah, but I think being an outsider and not having the time to like truly gel in Colorado last year, not being one of those guys, he was a mercenary last year, right? Maybe if he's part of the Czech national team and they're going up against the Swedes or the Finns in a knockout game and he gets into that type of scenario, maybe that's a little bit of like blood in the water for a Shark.
Yeah, I think he's primed for this. I think when he was still on the Hurricanes and he was, if you were to play for, back then 3 years ago on the Czech Republic, like he'd play well, but he wouldn't be a breakout candidate. He's a genuine breakout candidate for this tournament right now. And then, and then what's fun about this is, if you are a more casual fan and it does draw you in and brings you to the playoffs, you're going to get to watch, Necas and Landeskog and Makar and MacKinnon all on the same team, all on the same damn club team. You're like, hey, I remember those guys. Oh, shit, they're all on the same team. Wow, that team must be really good.
21-day reset for the Avs. All right, Spring. Maybe we'll hop on. We'll do a between the pipes Olympic style during
fun.
During the knockout stages, or a game in which you see a bunch of Avs players in. We'll hop on. We'll do something quick. But that is going to do it for us after 55 games. Avs 37-9-9. NHL rosters are frozen, by the way. So those of you wanting trades during the Olympics, they cannot happen until February 23rd. The last movement was that Panarin trade. So you have to wait until the Olympics are over and the Avs return. But they get a 4-2 win tonight for Spring. I'm Raj. This is Between the Pipes. Thank you guys so much. We love y'all. Thanks for coming in and ribbing us in the chat. We always have so much fun, and I apologize for the racket that's happening at Ball Arena right now.
It sounds like a hockey arena. It's good. It's good ambient noise.
See you guys.